Now, I want you to look at this photo here. Try to give some comments. Which organisms can you identify in this photo? Good. I'm sure you have mentioned we have the trees, vegetation, some animals there, you can see them. These are gazelles, the cattle egret, and so forth. Now, how do the organisms relate with each other? There is a relationship between the organisms, between the cattle egret and the gazelle, for example. A kind of a relation that you would say it's mutual. For example, when predators want to attack the gazelles, the cattle egrets may act as signals. They may signal the gazelles, maybe by flying away. They may signal the gazelles that there is an enemy at large. Again, we have a relationship between the gazelles and the vegetation. What kind of relationship is that? Of course, the gazelles are feeding on the vegetation. So there is a relationship between the organisms. Number 2. Name 4 non-living factors that may be found in this place. There are some factors, especially in the environment, that are non-living, and they also relate to the animals or to the organisms. Can you mention some non-living factors? Yes. Good. Air in the environment, climatic factors or weather patterns, wind, temperature, the soil, and so on. Then, what would happen if the vegetation is cleared? What would happen when the vegetation is cleared? Think about that. I'm sure some of you have said that the animals, especially the gazelles, would die. Okay. Yeah, the vegetation is very important because it supports the whole system, the whole environment, such that the gazelles can be able to find food and so on. We'll be discussing more about this kind of relationships. Now, based on that, we try to define what is ecology. What is ecology? Ecology is the study of the interrelationships of organisms to each other and to their environment. Previously, we have seen relationships or a relationship between the animals among themselves and also with the environment, the environmental factors. So when we are looking at these relationships between the organism, one organism and another, and also between the organisms and the environment, what we are doing is ecology. So it is the study of the interrelationships of organisms to each other and to their environment. The environment refers to the surroundings, that is, conditions inside and outside of an organism, both biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors are living factors. Here we mention the organisms, the plants, the animals, and so on. While the abiotic factors are non-living or physical factors. Mostly here we talk about maybe the weather patterns, environmental factors such as wind, temperature, atmospheric pressure, water, soil, etc., etc. Now, look at this photo. What do you think about it? We will be looking at types of ecological studies. There is an organism there which is quite prominent. This is the turtle, which is found in water bodies, especially in the seas, in the oceans. Now, when we are doing ecological studies, we may decide, for example, to pick on one organism or one species, such as the turtle in this case, and study it within its habitat where it lives. So we will study just the one single species, and that kind of study, ecological study, whereby we look at just one species, is what we refer to as ecology. Then we may decide to look at the turtle and other organisms in the water body, such as shark, tilapia, other organisms within the water body or within the water habitat. So when we are looking at several species of organisms, then our study is referred to as ecology. Now here we are. Ecology is the ecological study of a single species within a community. A community in this case will refer to several species of organisms, several types of species living within the same habitat or within the same area. That's a community. So we are looking at just a single species, although there are many other species within the area, but we are more concerned with studying just a single species. Number two, the other type of ecological study is what we call ecology, which is the ecological study of different species of organisms interacting among themselves within an ecosystem. An ecosystem actually refers to both the biotic and abiotic factors relating with each other. That's a kind of a system whereby we have the two non-living and living factors relating with each other. We'll be discussing more about the ecosystem later on. Now, in which spheres of life is ecological knowledge important? I want to highlight some photos here. Maybe you can tell me. I have photo A here. What do you think about that? Look at the environment, the animals. I also have another one here, B. You can see there's an activity happening there. We have some animals there also. Look at the environment. I have another one here. There's a lot of smoke coming out from some chimney there. What is happening there? So, okay, somebody said air pollution. Okay. There's another one there. Some guy here who is very, very busy. Think about that. Another one here. some guys here in a boat, but the environment is quite not so good as it appears. There is another one there, F. Think about that. All these photos will link us to some spheres or areas in life where ecological knowledge is very, very important. Some very green plants there. This is actually maize. And lastly, I have another one there, H. Very beautiful environment there. Okay, all these photos show us the real importance of ecological knowledge. In a nutshell, we actually want to take care of our environment, and the environment or the ecosystem that matter has abiotic and biotic factors, as we have seen before, and all these ones are very important for sustaining life. So that's why we are linking ecology and life. If you look at photo A, for example, you can see that the environment has some trees there, but again the land is quite bare. And you may be wondering what the elephants, there are some elephants there, zebras, what do they really eat? If they lack something to eat, what will happen? Exactly, they will not be able to survive, and then we may lose our animals. And some of these animals are very, very important in the environment and also to our economy. For example, if you look at B, these are wild beasts, and there are some tourists at the background there, you can see that. So these animals are important also to our economy, what we would call ecotourism. Tourists come maybe to our country and they are able to see these animals and also contribute positively to our economy. C, D, and E are actually negative things in the environment. Pollution, C is about air pollution, D is about deforestation, E is about water pollution. All these ones are hazardous to life. We want to have a very good environment which is clean, as would be in photo H. Even when you are there, you feel that you're in the right environment. There is fresh air, it's beautiful to observe, it's serene. So ecology is really important as far as the environmental health is concerned. So in a nutshell, the spheres of life where ecological knowledge is applied would be: number one, sustainable food production. We have seen a photo there that shows maize production. So ecological knowledge is important towards that. Number two, conservation of natural resources. Here we also talk about our wildlife, the forests, water bodies, soil, and so on. So ecology is concerned about conservation of natural resources. Number three, pollution control. Yeah, we need to control pollution against our water, air, even soil, and so on. Number four, control of pests and diseases. That has an agricultural bearing. Number five, prediction of adverse weather patterns. Today we are having the problems of global warming, which is really an environmental problem. So ecology is really concerned about predicting adverse weather patterns and maybe how we can be able to avoid that. Number six, population control. Number seven, ecotourism. All right, so those are just some spheres whereby ecological knowledge is applied. All right, now I want you to see something here. Yes. Observe what is happening keenly and attempt the task assigned thereafter. There is a video here that I want you to view. All right. I want this to be a carry home task based on the video clip. 1. Which phenomenal event is taking place in the video? 2. Identify 2 reasons that necessitate this event. Identify 2 reasons that necessitate this event. 3. Explain the significance of this event. So I'll be requiring your feedback later on. Once you attempt, let me know your feedback. Alright, and that marks the end of our lesson. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be looking at further concepts in ecology later on. And good, bye bye.